In the bustling atmosphere of a local shooting range nestled on the outskirts of a quiet town, where the sharp cracks of gunfire echoed like thunderclaps against the steel targets and the air was thick with the metallic tang of gunpowder and spent casings littering the ground like golden confetti, a group of seasoned shooters, mostly burly men with calloused hands from years of handling rifles and pistols, gathered around Lane 5, boasting about their latest feats with high-powered AR-15s. Chambered in 5.56 NATO rounds that could punch through paper targets at 100 yards with pinpoint accuracy, their conversations laced with jargon about ballistic coefficients, muzzle velocities exceeding 3,000 feet per second, and the satisfying recoil of Glock 19s modified with aftermarket triggers for faster follow-up shots, while one particularly vocal guy, a retired cop named Mike, bragged about his custom-built Sig Sauer P320 that he claimed could outshoot any factory model thanks to its upgraded sights and ported barrel designed to reduce muzzle flip, all the while sipping black coffee from a thermos and eyeing the new arrivals with a mix of skepticism and amusement. It was into this macho enclave that she walked, a unassuming woman in her mid-30s named Elena, dressed in simple jeans and a faded hoodie that hid her athletic build, carrying a nondescript black duffel bag slung over her shoulder, her presence barely registering at first as the men continued their tales of deer hunts with bolt-action Remington 700s equipped with variable scopes for long-range precision, or urban defense drills using compact Beretta 92s that fit snugly in concealed carry holsters. But as she quietly set up at Lane 7, unzipping her bag to reveal a well-worn M4 carbine variant with a collapsible stock and an ACOG optic for enhanced target acquisition in low light, a few heads turned, whispers starting about how she probably didn't know the difference between a semi-automatic and a revolver, let alone the intricacies of zeroing a red dot sight on a Heckler & Koch VP9 for consistent groupings under stress, and Mike, ever the instigator, sauntered over with a smirk, asking in a patronizing tone how many shots she'd fired before, expecting a novice's stammering reply about a handful at a family outing or perhaps none at all, but Elena paused, adjusting the ear protection over her short-cropped hair that bore faint scars from old helmet straps, and looked him straight in the eye with a calm that cut through the noise like a suppressor on a .22 caliber Ruger Mark IV. Her voice steady as she responded that she'd fired over 50,000 rounds in training alone across various platforms, from the standard issue M16A4 during boot camp to specialized sniper rifles like the Barrett M82A1 capable of anti-materiel shots at over a mile, not to mention the countless live-fire engagements in dusty Afghan valleys where AK-47s wielded by insurgents spat 7.62 x 39 mm rounds in chaotic bursts, forcing her to rely on her squad's M249 SAW light machine gun with its belt-fed 5.56 ammo for suppressive fire while calling in coordinates for artillery strikes, or the close-quarters battles in Iraqi urban sprawls where she transitioned seamlessly from her primary M4 to a secondary Mossberg 500 shotgun loaded with 12-gauge buckshot for breaching doors and clearing rooms filled with the acrid smoke of flashbangs and the deafening roar of exchanged gunfire, her tours of duty etching memories of the weight of a fully loaded plate carrier vest with ceramic inserts rated to stop .308 Winchester rounds, the adrenaline-fueled precision required to neutralize threats with a single headshot from a suppressed MP5 submachine gun during night raids, and the somber aftermath of inspecting enemy weapons like captured Dragunov SVDs with their distinctive wooden stocks and 7.62 x 54R cartridges that had nearly claimed her life more than once, all of which culminated in her earning the distinguished marksman badge and a Purple Heart after a skirmish where shrapnel from an RPG-7 rocket-propelled grenade shredded her Humvee's armor, leaving her to provide covering fire with whatever was at hand, including a borrowed FN Scar H battle rifle that kicked like a mule but delivered devastating 7.62 NATO impacts. As her words hung in the air, detailing the evolution of modern firearms from the lever-action Winchester 1873s of the Old West to the polymer-framed striker-fired pistols like the Smith & Wesson M&P that revolutionized law enforcement carry, and the tactical advantages of modular systems like the Picatinny rail allowing attachments from laser designators to bipods for stabilized shooting. The range fell into a profound silence, the men's boasts evaporating like morning fog under the sun, their eyes widening as they realized she wasn't just any shooter but a decorated combat veteran whose expertise dwarfed their weekend hobbies. Her casual mention of calibrating windage and elevation on a Leupold scope for a 800-yard shot in crosswinds of 15 miles per hour making their own stories seem trivial, and as she loaded a 30-round Magpul PMAG into her rifle with practiced ease, the click of the bolt carrier group chambering the first round echoing in the hush, Mike could only mutter an apology before stepping back, the group watching in awe as she proceeded to drill a tight cluster into the bullseye, each trigger pull a testament to hours spent on ranges simulating everything from desert sandstorms jamming mechanisms to jungle humidity corroding barrels, her narrative weaving in lessons on firearm safety like always treating a gun as loaded, keeping fingers off the trigger until ready to fire, and the importance of regular maintenance with solvents and lubricants to prevent malfunctions in critical moments, expanding into the history of weapons development from black powder muskets of the Revolutionary War to the gas-operated automatics of World War II like the M1 Garand with its N-block clips, and the Cold War-era innovations in assault rifles such as the Soviet AK-47's legendary reliability in mud and dust compared to the early M16's jamming issues resolved with chrome-lined chambers, all while she demonstrated proper stance feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent for recoil absorption, and breathing control to steady aim, her story unfolding like a master class on ballistics, explaining how bullet drop over distance requires holdover adjustments on mil-dot reticles, or how subsonic ammunition paired with suppressors reduces sonic booms for stealth operations, touching on ethical considerations of weapon use in self-defense scenarios where de-escalation fails and proportional force is key, like choosing non-lethal options such as pepper spray or tasers before escalating to lethal 9mm hollow points that expand on impact for maximum stopping power without over-penetration, and as the minutes stretched on, her monologue delving deeper into the psychology of marksmanship, the zen-like focus required to ignore distractions and visualize the projectile's arc influenced by gravity and Coriolis effect at extreme ranges, the camaraderie built among soldiers through shared drills with crew-served weapons like the M2 Browning .50 caliber machine gun mounted on vehicles for convoy protection, the advancements in smart guns with biometric locks to prevent unauthorized use, and the ongoing debates over gun control balancing Second Amendment rights with public safety measures like background checks and red flag laws to keep firearms out of dangerous hands, while highlighting women's increasing roles in firearms sports and defense, from competitive shooters dominating IDPA matches with customized 1911 pistols to female instructors teaching concealed carry classes on compact revolvers like the Ruger LCR in .38 special for easy concealment in purses, her voice never wavering as she recounted personal anecdotes of training recruits on basic marksmanship principles: sight alignment, trigger squeeze, follow-through, and the thrill of hitting steel plates at 500 yards with a precision rifle like the Accuracy International AX chambered in .338 Lapua Magnum, the range's other patrons slowly gathering around, captivated by her encyclopedic knowledge of calibers from the diminutive .22 long rifle for plinking to the massive .50 BMG for anti-vehicle rolls, the differences between rimfire and centerfire primers, the merits of over-under shotguns versus pump actions for skeet shooting, and the future of weapons tech with directed energy lasers and railguns promising hit-to-kill accuracy without traditional ammunition, until finally, After what felt like an eternity of enlightenment on everything from reloading brass casings with progressive presses to the art of gunsmithing barrels for improved rifling twist rates, she holstered her sidearm, a trusty Colt Python revolver with its smooth double-action pull, and smiled faintly, leaving the once noisy range in complete, respectful silence. The men's egos checked and their appreciation for true expertise ignited, proving that sometimes the quietest person holds the most powerful stories, wrapped in the world of weapons that shape histories and save lives.